I'll tell you what, it is so nice to be back in this room, to be back in the lobby, to walk through these doors, to be back in the office every day. Because I realized over the past few weeks that while we were at home and in quarantine, everybody in the family tested positive for COVID, I forgot how much of a gift it is to come here. Often we kind of get in this routine, we get in this cycle where coming to church is just another thing that we check off the list. But I had this renewed reminder that just being able to come together with a group of people who I love, who love me, who love Jesus, it's a true gift that I didn't want to take for granted. It was something that kind of revitalized my spirit for walking in the doors every single week, and I'm so incredibly grateful for it. And really and truly, that's what our series on Sundays that we have called The Gift is all about. We want to open our eyes. We want to reinvigorate. We want to see what God is doing, what He has already prepared, so that we can be all ready for what He has planned. That's what Matt talked about in the sermon last week. But we just want to have our eyes open to see what God's doing. We want to see the gifts that are right in front of us. We want to experience the gift of Jesus here on an everyday kind of basis. One of the things that I have really enjoyed doing every year around this time is I walk with our students through this season, and we particularly highlight the gift of Jesus coming to the world. Over 2,000 years ago, God stepped into the world and became Emmanuel, God with us, in a very real way. In a way that we didn't expect Him to, in a way that honestly none of us could have dreamed up in our minds, and yet it was the greatest gift that we ever could have received. And we don't want to miss out on that this year. We want to take time to slow down. We want to take time to remember. We want to take time to focus on what God is doing, what He did, what He's already preparing for us in the here and now. And I want to walk through some of the things that Matt has planned for this week, some of the things that he is already preparing for us to receive from God, to receive from His Word. So one of my favorite books in the entire Bible is the book of Romans. I actually had a really cool opportunity this summer to take a course on Romans, and we got to spend a whole lot of time digging really, really deep into what Paul has to say. And what I love about it is that it's everything that Paul seems to be trying to say in all of his other letters packed into one. It is a gut punch in places, it is challenging in places, but it is oh so inspiring. And one of the most incredible parts about the book of Romans is Romans chapter 8. It's all about a life in the Spirit. It's about resurrection. It's about faith. It's about all of what it means to walk with Jesus packed into one. But Romans chapter 8 starts with a gift. And it starts by saying, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And this truly is a gift that I don't want to miss out on. I don't want to miss out on the impact that having no condemnation against me has on my life, because you are defined by God's love for you. You are defined by what God has to say about you. And what God has to say is there's no condemnation for you. There's freedom that comes through a life in the Spirit. And Paul's going to unpack all of that in chapter 8. There's so much there, but it all begins with a gift from God. It all begins with this powerful word that there's no condemnation against you because you are in Christ Jesus. It echoes back to what Paul had said in chapter 6, that when you are buried with Christ in baptism, that you are raised to life in Him. That you are clothed with Christ, that when God looks at you, He sees His Son because you have put Him on like an outer garment and you are wearing the love of Christ around you. And that's really what this season is all about God coming to the world, about stepping into His creation, becoming a part of it, and giving true and abundant life to people who desperately need it, who need hope for the future, who need a reminder that this isn't the end. So when Jesus stepped on the scene 2,000 years ago, when he stepped into the world in a way that was honestly a little bit scandalous, in a way that totally changed the trajectory of human history, he brought a gift. He brought a gift for you and brought a gift for me. He brought a gift of no more condemnation for anybody. And this kind of gift is the kind of gift that totally changes our life. So this Christmas season, as you gather with your family, as you gather and you open gifts, you share gifts, don't forget, the most important gift of all is that of Jesus to the world. It's simple, and yet it changes everything. So we're praying that that's a blessing for you. We're praying that you don't miss out on that gift, that you receive that gift, and that it changes the way that you live in the here and now. Hey, I can't wait to see you on Sunday. I can't wait to get together with you, whether it's at 9 o'clock or 10:15, whether it's in person or online, but in the here and now. I'm so grateful for opportunities like this to share with you, to talk about God, to grow in our faith together. And so if you have enjoyed this video, if you would do a couple of things for us, if you would go ahead and click the thumbs up button beneath this video, it really does help us as we try to spread this good news, this message of the good news of Jesus with our city, with our community, and around the world. If you would consider subscribing to our channel so that you can get notifications every time we post new videos just like this one every week. And finally, would you consider sharing this with somebody who needs to be reminded of the gifts that they had, the gifts that God has given them, especially the fact that there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So we're praying that you have a fantastic day. We're praying that you are encouraged, that you're inspired to grow in your faith in the here and now. We love you. We can't wait to see you again soon. Grace and peace, my friends.